Who's serving the middle market? I want to take today and talk about 3 opportunities in a middle market, what I'm calling a middle market, that really nobody is serving, and see what you guys think about it. So yesterday, I released a video that talked about single unit sessions, 1 unit visits, doing evaluations only. The whole idea behind the evaluation only service base is there are people right now who are sitting at home with a referral in their hand thinking, I don't want to do physical therapy. The doctor says I have to do physical therapy. I don't want to do physical therapy. This piece of paper says I have to go twice a week for 6 weeks. And they're not going to go. This is a middle market. This is a market that doesn't have a solution to provide a solution to their problem. What's their problem? They don't want to do therapy, but their doctor is telling them they have to go to therapy. So I love this market because I have no problem doing an initial evaluation in 20 minutes or less, determining that, you know what? This person doesn't need physical therapy. I can show them 2 or 3 things to do on their own. They can do it on their own. I can answer their questions. I can provide the education. I can validate their concerns, assuming they're valid, and give them the stamp of approval to say, you know what, you're right. You don't need physical therapy right now. So that is a huge demographic that is just underserved, unnoticed. Nobody ever talks about it. I think if more clinicians openly marketed to these individuals who do not want to do physical therapy, but are feeling compelled to comply with their doctor's orders, this is where the opportunity is. A second market. Now, I love manual therapy. I'm not a manual therapist. Yes, I put my hands on many of my patients, but not all of them. I don't believe everything begins and ends in my fingers. But that being said, I think there's a huge demographic for individuals who like the experience of manual therapy as a patient, but don't want to disrobe, don't want to go into a room, don't want to get naked and lay on a table like they think manual therapy might be. If you were observing in my clinic, you would quickly see we do all of our manual therapy over the clothes. We do all of our manual therapy in the gym. I haven't had a patient lay on a plinth for years unless it was absolutely necessary. Most of my manual therapy is done in a normal reception area chair. I do manual therapy on some of the fitness equipment, some of the selectorized equipment. I will do the manual technique wherever I feel is most comfortable for the patient. Even if I'm working on a part of the body like lumbar or like SI or glutes, I'll have the patient sit on a bench. There's no back to the bench. I'll have them lean forward on the plinth, much like I'm doing right here on the desk. And I'll sit behind them and I'll do some soft tissue work. The idea is that, again, there's a huge demographic that says, I don't want some weirdo touching me. I don't want to go into a private room. I don't want soothing music and weird lighting. I want to make something feel better. And if they can do it in a more comfortable, kind of open environment, that's what we're going to do. So I think there's a huge market for patients, particularly in the geriatric demographic, who want manual therapy but don't want all the other stuff that they think comes along with manual therapy, and want it delivered over the clothes in a comfortable position. I mean, I've got patients that haven't laid on their back in like 40 years, and I know clinicians who will make them lay on their back or lay on their stomach or get up on a table and feel so awkward and out of place. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. And then finally, going to the other end of the spectrum, from geriatric to more pediatric. You know, I've got 4 boys. The oldest is 13, the twins are 10, and the youngest is 9. I was their den master. I was involved with scouts. I coached some of their sports. And I can see there are kids that kind of fall between the gap, meaning they're not at the level that they need skilled services, but they're also not necessarily developmentally progressing at the same rate as other kids. And so these kids are just awkward, they're uncoordinated, they haven't quite grown into their body yet. Whatever label you want to use, that's up to you, but the idea is they absolutely need our services. They would benefit from our services, but nobody is referring them to our services, whether it be through an insurance reimbursement or a cash-based program. So having something like that for these kids, an after-school program, something that maybe includes a homework component, a tutoring component. We know that the brain functions best when it's associated with or following activity and exercise, physical movement. So imagine putting together something like a Sylvan Learning Center, but built around exercise and movement and enjoyment, building confidence, building skills, tactile, motor, all of the things that kids need, and doing it in a controlled environment under the direction of a therapist. I just don't see those programs out there. I know there are OTs that are moving more into nature-based children's programs. I love it. I think it's amazing. I can't think of the OT, Timber Nook. I think Timber Nook is the name of the program that originally kind of introduced me to some of these concepts. But nonetheless, guys, there are so many blue oceans out there of opportunity. When I see a wide-eyed, bushy-tailed clinician who's super excited, super pumped to go out into business for him or herself, and then I see them thinking they're going to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, it's like my heart breaks just a little bit more every single day. There are way too many blue ocean opportunities for you to consider. And the reason why I keep saying blue ocean is if you haven't read it, go check out Blue Ocean Strategies. What I'll do is I'll link to a video right here. This thumbnail will be a video talking about Blue Ocean Strategies that you might be interested in listening to or looking at. And I wish you the best. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.